We like to say that everyone is beautiful in their own way. And I believe that. But let's be honest, first impressions are often based on appearance. It doesn't mean that's the full story. And it can definitely change once we get to know someone. But visually, we all react first. That's just human psychology. What if there was a way to understand your face better? Not to change it, but to work with it. Have you ever noticed that some people are very attractive, even without perfect facial features, and at the same time following beauty trends like bigger lips doesn't always make someone look better? Attractiveness isn't about individual features, it's about balance. Perfect features don't always create an attractive face, balance does. It's about how everything works together. I always wanted to do a professional, science-based face analysis, but I thought it would be difficult to find or very expensive. Recently, I started seeing videos from Qoves Studio on Instagram. Maybe you've seen them too. They talk about glow-up tips and what makes a face attractive, using ideas from anthropology and cognitive psychology. I wanted to do this analysis to understand what really suits me, like what hair color could work best for me since I've never dyed my hair before, or what eyebrow shape would be more flattering for my face. We live in a very modern world and we have access to so many tools now, so I thought, why not to take a chance and explore this part of self-care too? That's why I decided to try Qoves, and today I'll share my personal experience with you. So, on the Qoves website, you can find all the details about the analysis. It's personalized and they explain each authentic test and what you'll learn from it. To start, you need to answer a few questions, upload clear photos of your face from different angles, and then wait while the team prepares your personal analysis. I want to highlight, this report doesn't rate beauty, it measures potential. So it's not about good or bad, it's about understanding. I took the photos in the morning without makeup, in natural light, and with completely relaxed face. I was a bit tired, so my face looks slightly swollen, and also you have to keep a fully relaxed expression, so it looks very different from how you usually pose in photos. So let me explain what this report actually includes, because it's much more detailed than I expected. First, I received an overall authentic score, which is in my case 64%. A lower score indicates more glow-up potential. But it's important to understand, this is not a beauty rating. It reflects how closely your current features align with your authentic potential, based on non-surgical factors. Then the report divided into several key assessment categories. The first section focuses on facial assessments, things like facial dysmorphism, averageness, proportions, symmetry, and overall face shape. These are structural measurements. They look at how balanced and harmonious your features are compared to scientific reference data. After that, the analysis goes deeper into individual features. It evaluates each part of the face separately: eyebrows, eyes, nose, lips, cheeks, jaw, chin, hair, smile, neck, ears, and skin. For each feature, I received specific observation, where I fall within typical authentic ranges and how small adjustments could improve overall harmony. And finally, everything comes together in a personalized protocol. That means instead of random advice, the recommendations are tailored specifically to my facial structure, focusing on non-surgical changes like hairstyling, eyebrow shaping, skin improvements, and subtle adjustments that enhance balance. What I really like is that the report constantly reminds you this is a measure of potential, not a judgment of attractiveness. It's about understanding your structure and not criticizing it. And honestly, having everything broken down like this makes the idea of a glow up feel much more logical and intentional. One of the first things I looked at was my symmetry score, 84 out of 100, which is considered highly symmetric. Symmetry basically means how balanced the left and right sides of your face are. Our brain naturally sees balanced faces as more harmonious. Important to say that small asymmetries are completely normal, and they actually make a face look more natural and unique. Then there is something called averageness. Mine is 68 out of 100, described as slightly unique. Averageness doesn't mean boring. It means how closely your features align with the statistical average of your demographic group. Being slightly unique means I have distinctive features, but still close enough to typical proportions to feel harmonious. My eye aspect ratio is 0.35, which falls within a typical eccentric range. The report describes my eye shape as moderately within range. Refined, neither overly round nor narrow. It also analyzed eyelid exposure, tilt, and sclera color. These small details actually influence how soft, intense, or feminine a face appears, even if we don't consciously notice it. So next, let's check skin. Skin is one of the most visible facial features. My blemish score was 79 out of 100, considered average. The pore analysis even measured the average pore size on my forehead, around 440 micrometers. I didn't even know that was something you could measure, but it shows how detailed the analysis is. One interesting part was proportions. For example, my ear-to-nose ratio is 1.18 to 1. Meaning my ear slightly taller compared to my nose. The ideal ratio is 1 to 1. Small structural differences like this don't mean something is wrong. They just explain how certain features frame the face. What I really liked is that under every number there is a clear explanation of what it actually means. So it's not just random ratios or percentages. They explain how that proportion affects your overall facial balance. Next, my eyebrows and cheeks were categorized as feminine, with a soft arch and natural cheek projection. Not sharp, not heavy, soft structure. The protocol even included hair recommendations, suggesting a central part and mid-length layers to soften the forehead and enhance balance. It's interesting because hair alone can shift proportions visually without surgery. I kind of already knew I have a bigger forehead when I once did a caricature that was literally the main feature they exaggerated. I'll show it right here. So seeing it mentioned in the report didn't shock me. In the protocol section, I received very detailed recommendations for each part of my face, and it's not just numbers. It actually tells you what to do with that information. For example, here in the eye section, it explained that my eye shape is already a strong feature, almond shape, clear iris, so the focus isn't to change it, but to enhance it. It recommends slightly defining my brows with a darker pencil to sharpen the lower edge, maybe lifting the tail a little to open the eye area. For lashes, it suggests adding more length and volume towards the outer corners to create a soft winged effect. And for the under eye area, it gives skincare advice like using vitamin C, hydration, and even color correcting concealer to reduce darkness and make the face look fresher. So it's very practical. It tells you exactly where your strengths are and where small adjustments could make a visible difference. In the skin section, I received a full skincare protocol. It says my skin already has a good base, but there is some redness, visible pores, and small blemishes that slightly reduce overall clarity. There are recommendations about skincare. It also suggests that improving skin texture and tone can noticeably lift the overall aesthetic score, because skin quality really impacts how useful and fresh the face looks. What I like most is that this isn't about surgery, it's about non-surgical optimization. Hair, brows, styling, skin, face. It's about understanding what already exists and enhancing it. So let's make a conclusion about everything. For me, this wasn't about chasing perfection. It was about clarity, understanding what actually suits my face instead of following random beauty trends. Because sometimes a glow up isn't about changing everything. It's about understanding your structure and working with it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye!